Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this is another one from the archives. It's actually from a few months ago, and it's using collage paper from Natalie May. And really this is just a video to show you how easy it is to alter images that come on collage paper. Using this as an example really, I mean you can do this with any sort of collage face image or even a stamped face as well. It's super easy to use it and put your own kind of quirk on it, I suppose. So with this collage paper from Natalie May, I am able to use a water brush to tear it. It gives a lovely soft edge to it. So I've grabbed the face that I want to use from this sheet that's called Washi Peeps. I do have some of these available on my website, and I've just added a bit of white acrylic paint to my page where the face is going to go. That is just so that the craft doesn't play with the colour behind the face too much, and then I've used some matte medium to stick that down. Now I'm going in with some funky hair. I'm going to go with kind of flowy hair. I think I like doing sort of long flowy hair. Sometimes it creates a really lovely space for writing in, just kind of bringing the changes and making it a bit different. So I've started off with rouge. I'm using analogous colours here, so that just means colours that are next to each other on the colour wheel, and Raina, if you're listening, colours that play nicely together. There we go, I said it. So this is magenta, and I'm just going to kind of let these colours flow into each other, overlap a bit, not worrying too much about them blending too neatly. I just want to create that kind of flow of one colour into the next. I'm pulling the hair over from the side of the head, so almost like they're in a very windy place and the wind's blowing their hair all to one side. Yeah, I think these hairstyles that I keep creating, it's like me secretly wishing for funky coloured hair. It must be, mustn't it? But I have been told that they're really hard to keep up with, so nah, I don't think I can be bothered with that. So yeah, this is Iris. This is one of the newest colours from Dina Wakley, and as with many people, it's one of my favourite ones that she's released. I am a bit of a pink and purple girl, as you will know, and of course rainbows as well, but this purple, oh, it just makes me so happy. It's just such a pretty colour. So a quick dry, and then I'm going to use mineral for my background. So the reason I've chosen this neutral is because it's got a little bit of a bluey tint to it, so it's going to work really nicely with the colours that are already on my page, particularly sort of pointing towards that purple that I've used at the bottom of the hair. It's going to just kind of not detract from what's going on with the hair, but just give me a nice calm background to play with. So I'm just pulling that into all the spaces. I mean, equally so, I could have just stenciled some of this onto my background and left some of the craft peeping through. But, you know, sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Here I'm just giving her another shoulder, I guess. But actually you'll see in a bit that that ends up disappearing because I decided I wanted to use these really cool, colourful little pieces off the collage paper as well, and stuck those on the side of my page. Again, just using matte medium to stick these down. Once that background was dry. There you go, see, what a waste of time painting that shoulder in. I think this is one of those things where you realise in this kind of mixed media art journaling, it doesn't matter about the layers that are underneath, because quite often you end up covering them up, changing your mind, doing things differently. As you can see, I've already moved that piece. I'm going to split it. It's one of the things that you can do. You can do one thing, think this isn't working for me, and I'm going to change it up. So this is one of my favourite things to do with faces, is to put my own slant on it, is to like give it a style that is mine, and it gives you that starting point. So, you know, I am not brilliant at drawing faces. I can draw an idea of a face, but you know, I couldn't set to and draw a really nice portrait. But with these sorts of supplies, you don't have to be able to. You can use them and take them and add your own ideas to them. This is my heart stencil from Natalie May as well. This was with one of my classes. And there I've just added some pink hearts around. Now I'm using a Stabilo oil pencil, and I am just pulling some lines over the hair just to give a feeling of some movement, just so that's just not like a block of colour. And then I'm going to kind of pull her shoulders over the top of that background. Then I'm just water activating some of those lines, trying to make this feel a bit more flowy. Anywhere where it's too dark, because it's wet, I can go in with a baby wipe or a tissue and just remove it super easily, because my background is dry. Then a little bit of stamping. So this is my text stamp from Funky Fossil called Shoot for the Stars. I love it because it's got that really teeny tiny little text on it, and it's just one of my favourite go-to stamps. Here I'm just using it to kind of blend those edges a bit more. A little bit of blush on the cheeks. I always say this, you can use an old blusher if you've got one. It doesn't have to be a palette pastel like I use from Jane Davenport. This is a Life of Colour paint pen, a bit like a Posca pen, and I'm just adding some white highlights to the hair as well. And I think I did go in with some other colours too. These Life of Colour pens are great. They come in different styles. Natalie May Scrapbooking sells them on her website. Then I grabbed these three colours and thought I'm just going to draw some marks with these on my page. I must have taken inspiration from somewhere on my page where I could see them, and just bringing another sort of element of mark making to my background. Excuse me. Okay, they are really lovely. They're very pigmented, very nice. And then I decided I was going to write my words on her hair. Why not? It's a perfect place for that text to go. And again, I'm using a Life of Colour brush pen to do my writing. And I'm using those lines that I created in the hair as my guide for my words. So making my letters touch the top and bottom is just helping me with my spacing and size of my letters. And then I'm using a Signo Uniball in white just to add a highlighted shadow to those. That's a funny thing to say, isn't it? A highlighted shadow. Okay, let's just call it a highlight to my letters. It's almost in the line of a shadow though, which is probably why my brain did that. Just to help pop them out from the background. It's a really nice technique to use. It's just, I find doing things like this at the end of a page, it's quite meditative. I can kind of switch off and do this bit. So that just brings a little bit of contrast. I think I've also added some white splatters to my page as well, because a journal page for me wouldn't be complete without a few splatters somewhere along the line. And I think that just helps with, you know, just adding another layer, more interest, and all those fun things that we love to do in mixed media art journaling. So this is kind of like, I know I've used Natalie May's products, which of course, if you're based where she is, you can get hold of those really easily, and you can from my website too. But just showing you how really easy it is to take a face. You could even take a magazine face and give it your own slant, put your own funky hair on it, paint your own crazy hat. It's just a fun way to work in your art journal. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.